Hello and welcome to Connected. On this edition, the amazing and inspirational story of a Brisbane plumber who's inspired hundreds to battle against the odds. We raise the curtain on a classic Tennessee Williams play and take you behind the steamy doors of Velvet with Marcia Hines. And he's the youngest singer to be signed to Sony Music Australia. Now he's headed into our studios to perform one of his latest hits. Straalen will sing up a storm. It's time to get connected. My first guest is someone you may already know. Justin Geange is the man behind Buck, the mascot for the Brisbane Broncos. But just 3 years ago, Justin was at such a low point, he attempted to take his own life. Now, through what some have described as amazing courage, he now inspires others as a community ambassador for the Are You OK organisation. And I'm pleased to say he joins us in the studio. How are you, mate?
Yeah, great. How you doing?
It is great to see you. It's sporting the Are You OK shirt with everything on it and the website.
Happy days.
It is happy days now, isn't it?
It is, yeah, absolutely. It's great, exciting to be here and be alive and sharing the word.
Back in 2013, I mean, what were some of the events that led up to the depression that you suffered through?
Yeah, look, I was really high profile, doing lots of things with Australia's Got Talent, running for my local seat in the state parliament. Work was insane. I was a high level manager, and all of a sudden, all of that came crashing down with the possibility that I was going to lose my job. And through exhaustion, through everything, I thought that the only way I could support my family would be to take my life and activate my life insurance. So it was tough. It was really tough. Through exhaustion and those sort of things. That's where I saw the only way for me to go. Yeah.
What sort of effect did the attempt take on your family?
Look, it was huge. The family was rocked. Suicide's like a hand grenade. You know, it doesn't affect just your family. It affects all your the community that support you. The shrapnel spreads far and wide. And so, not only my family, but my workmates and my friends, they all were really shocked and taken back, and didn't really see it coming.
And that's the thing. I mean, it's sitting here. It's very hard for me, say, to think about that as an even option. But you know, when you're in a situation like you were in, I guess it's the only way you can see out.
Yeah, look, it's like going to the movies. You sit in the front seat of the movies and you're not really getting to see the full picture like you do in the back row. That's where I was at, and I genuinely believed that the best thing I could do for my family would be to take that action. And so it was an unusual place to be in, but that's where I was at.
What turned it around for you?
Look, I was really shocked. Recovery's been a couple of year process for me, and I guess seeing my wife, who was so strong for so many years, seeing her, how she was affected, really shocked me out of it. And I realised, well, I've been given a second chance. I started talking to people and realised that so many other people were doing it tough, not just me. And I realised, hang on, I've been given a chance. You know, statistically, 8 Australians every day don't get that second chance, and yet I got that second chance. And so I think that whole realisation just said, well, I'm going to go out there and make a difference. We need to talk about it more.
Yeah. And that's primarily what Are You OK is all about, isn't it? To activate people talking to each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's pretty simple. Yeah. It's pretty simple. You start a conversation, and I'm a plumber by trade. All I want to do is fix stuff. But what I've learned is a conversation's not just, trying to fix someone's problems. The conversation's about starting the conversation, then listening, and then maybe pointing them in the right direction. Yeah. So it's, yeah.
As an ambassador for Are You OK, I mean, what's your role do? I mean, how does it work for you?
Yeah, look, my role as an Are You OK ambassador is to get out there and share my story, but my story is not where it was in 2013. My story is about hope. So the story is not then, the story is 2016. I'm still here, I'm making a difference today. And tough times do come, but tough times go. And to say, look, it's okay not to be okay, because tomorrow's going to be better. And so that's my role as an ambassador, is to share that story, not of where I was in 2013, but the hope that I've found since then.
I know that you're a pretty mean singer-songwriter.
Yep.
So how does that help you spread the message?
Look, I love having like, there's so many talented people out there.
Yeah.
I like to think of myself as one of those singers in the backyard that gets everyone to sing. It's about having a conversation, and for me, that's what singing and songwriting is about. It's not about a person performing as such. It's about everyone talking in the form of music. And so I use my talents when I share my story to have a sing and get people singing and out of their comfort zones, and realising it, you know, as hard as it is to sing in a group of people, you can ask your mate, someone you care about, are you okay?
Fantastic. What's your advice to people who think there's no way out?
Yeah, look, my advice would be talk to someone. Talk to someone you trust. There's great organisations like Lifeline and Beyond Blue that you know, they've got great counselling, but talking to someone you trust and care about, it can often be the first step in that. And so that's my advice. Talk to someone, and if you are doing, if you know someone's doing it tough, ask them the question, are you okay?
And if you know someone who is doing it tough right now, you can call Lifeline on 13 11 14, or check out the Are You OK website, which is on the screen right now. Still to come on Connected, Straalen performs live on our stage. Marcia Hines takes us behind the scenes of the sexy and steamy cabaret Velvet, and we raise the curtain on a Tennessee Williams classic. That's next on Connected. And welcome back to Connected. Tennessee Williams, one of America's most highly regarded playwrights, was virtually unknown until he unveiled his first successful play, The Glass Menagerie, back in 1944. It catapulted him from obscurity to fame. It's set in the 1930s. The play features characters based on Williams himself, including his histrionic mother and his mentally fragile sister Laura. Well, now it's being brought to life by the Ipswich Little Theatre, and to talk about the show, I'm very pleased to say Robin Harm joins us in the studio. How are you, Robin?
Fine, thank you.
It's a great play. For those that aren't familiar, what's the basic storyline?
Well, as you were saying before, it's based, or loosely based, on Tennessee Williams' own life. So it's about a mum and a mother, Amanda, her name is, and it's set in the South. And she obviously came from a fairly wealthy background, but now in later years, not so. But she does want the best for her two adult children who live with her. As you're saying, a daughter who has a disability and who's become a bit of a recluse and spends a lot of her day looking after her glass animals.
Right.
Therefore, the Glass Menagerie.
Menagerie, that's right, yeah.
And then there's the brother, Tom, and he works in a job where he doesn't really like it. He'd like to be doing something else, but he's providing for the family. And he's pressured into finding a gentleman friend for his sister, Laura.
Right.
And then the story goes
from
there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course, it was made into a popular movie a couple of times. One starred, of course, Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward.
That's right, yes.
Is it close to the movies that people may be familiar with?
I think the movie always tends to add on or take away from what isn't good for a movie situation. But Jan Paterson, who's the director, has tried to go back to basics with the script and put her own love of Tennyson in there, as well as the actual storyline that happens.
Yeah. Now,
So-
from the company point of view, I mean, how did you come to select this play?
Jan selected it because it's one of the classics,
Yep.
and it's also a play that she just loves the language that's used in it, and the storyline that a lot of people are sympathetic to. So it really engages the audience. Entertaining as well.
Well, of
which
course,
is
that's
she
what
looks for.
Ipswich Little Theatre's been doing for a long time.
Absolutely, yes.
Let me tell everyone at home, 70 years.
That's right, yeah, 70 years as a theatre company. So to the days when we used to rehearse in people's houses and collect all our scenery, etc., and props would be at people's places as well. And then we had 1 week of performances at the local town hall, Ipswich
Right.
Town Hall. So for a lot of the actors, it was their first time of being on stage with everyone and scenery in front of an audience, so they didn't get the benefit of the rehearsal times, etc., that we do now in our own theatre complex.
That's right. Now, you're in the Incinerator Theatre, aren't you?
That's right, yes. It's,
and that's old as well, that building.
That's 80 years old this year.
Wow.
It was one of the original incinerators designed by Burley Griffith, who did the City of Canberra.
Right.
And so it and a Melbourne incinerator are the last two surviving. And I think the one in Melbourne's a restaurant, and ours was turned into a theatre during the 60s when it was about to be demolished by the City Council, and one of our members, who was an engineer, had seen it in its dilapidated state and thought there were possibilities for it to become a theatre. So with very little money and the council saying, yeah, go ahead, they changed it from a pretty dilapidated looking little place into a fully functioning theatre that has functions as well.
Well, it's amazing. I tell you what, we should get behind organisations like this, and of course people they can check out some of the shows you've got for the 70th anniversary, and also get behind it with the GoFundMe project as well, all found through your website.
That's exactly right, yes, and we also have a Facebook page.
Yep.
But yes, we've just put a new roof over our courtyard, and because it's heritage, we have to be very careful about what sort of things we put in. But we think we've, ready to show people that it's a beautiful complex, historically, as well as a modern place to come along and be entertained and have a great time.
Robin, thank you so much for joining us on Connected today, and all the very best for the next 70 years.
Thank you very much.
Thank
That's
you.
Excellent.
And the Glass Menagerie is now playing at the Incinerator Theatre until May 21. For more information or to book tickets, visit the website ipswichlittle.theatre.com.au. Well, from the 1930s at Tennessee Williams to the steamy and sexy story of Velvet, inspired by the likes of Studio 54. It's disco meets circus in a fusion that will leave you wanting more. Our connected cameras went backstage at QPAC and talked with stars Brendan Maclean, Craig Reid and former Queen of Pop, Marcia Hines. The disco era, people said that it's died, but it hasn't, has it?
Look, to some maybe. I'm sure to some they wish it would die, but for us it hasn't. And you listen to music now, or you watch a movie. I was flying to America and I was watching Mars, and the whole soundtrack was disco. So, look, it's just a fun time had by all, really. It was then, and so is Velvet.
Let's dance, let's dance, let's dance, let's dance, let's dance tonight.
Velvet is not just a glamorous show. We also explore, the darker corners of your disco, your party monster, Studio 54 kind of vibe does sneak its way in there. But it's also a narrative as well, and it's a journey of a young man finding himself and finding confidence. And that's through my fairy godmother, Marcia Hines, which isn't a bad fairy godmother to have. It's two different things for me. One side of me is a singer-songwriter, and this show, Velvet, has brought out a different side of me. Craig Eilert and my director, and Marcia Hines, have showed me a completely different way to perform, and I get to play to hundreds and hundreds of people each night, and it's definitely opening up my eyes to a whole new world of performance. Look, I say if you're from the older generation, you're going to be remembering the disco songs of your life. And if you're younger as well, you're about to discover a whole new world of music that is coming back. You know, you look at Daft Punk and Pharrell Williams, all using disco in it. And it's a really contemporary, exciting show. And not to mention some of the finest costumes and circus work in the world. It's an absolute feast for the eyes and the ears.
It's getting rave reviews all over the country, and from what I can also understand, people don't want to leave at the end of it.
No, they want to dance, so they should. Yeah.
Of course, it's not just the vocals, but also some fantastic aerials and things like that in the show too.
Absolutely, yes, and really physically fit people in the show, yeah.
Do they amaze you every day?
They amaze me because they're just so focused. They know what they're doing, you know, and they know how to take good care of their bodies.
I made a lot of the routines originally at Circus University in London, and then Velvet got contact about a year and a half ago to talk about this new project they had with Marcia and the team, and we came up with the idea with the director, Craig, and we made this idea of, you know, fun and this shameless disco. We have a month here in Brisbane, and we have a short break, and then after that we're back on the road again.
Well, mate, I think I might give it a try, just because, I think I can do this. Hang on, I'll give you that. So it's just a quick spin around here, I guess.
Quick spin, give it a push round. It's all in the hips.
Like this, and... Thanks very much for that, Craig. I think we'll leave it to the professionals. Yeah, most epic fail ever. For more information on Velvet, visit velvettheshow.com. Coming up, Straalen, a young singer-songwriter riding a massive wave of success. He will join me next on Connected. And welcome back to Connected. Well, although he has just turned 18, Straalen is actually beginning phase 2 of his music career. In late 2010, Straalen became the youngest ever artist to be signed by Sony Music Australia. Now, he's not afraid of hard work, and combined with his passion for creating new music, Straalen released his first single as an independent artist earlier this year. I'm thrilled to say he joins us here on Connected. How are you, mate?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Very well. Congratulations on the new single. It sounds great.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's really come together. Like, I mean, it's a cool song and tells a good story, and yeah.
Did it take a while to write?
Funny enough, I actually wrote it on the beach, just at Kira Beach on the Gold Coast there, and it came pretty quickly actually, and it's about the typical girl who just doesn't realise she's beautiful.
Right.
All her friends do, but I guess she doesn't know how special she actually is. Yeah, so... Yeah.
It should resonate with a lot of people because there's a lot of people in that boat, isn't
Exactly,
there?
yeah, and especially with all this social media stuff that's out at the moment, and I think it's easy to get lost. So yeah, hopefully this will help someone in some way.
It's another step in your journey, a journey that started way back at the age of 12. I mean, how did the youngest ever offer from Sony happen?
Yeah, well, I actually got to sing the national anthem at the State of Origin at age 12, and the head of Sony Music, Dennis Hanlon, was in one of the corporate boxes there, and he saw me sing, and not long after that he got me to do a sort of a showcase in the Sony studios, and I became the youngest singer signed by Sony Music. So It was pretty crazy. Like, as a 12-year-old, I don't think you realise how big of an event such as the State of Origin is, and a company such as like Sony Music is.
Exactly.
And, like, so I'm just enjoying every second of it, to be honest. And,
yeah. Of course, you've now gone to an independent label. What made the change happen for you?
Well, I guess like Sony was great. We released the first album, which was a very much an inspirational sort of album. It's a little kid, big voice. It was, I just really enjoyed that. But as I got older and picked up the guitar and started writing my own material, I found myself sort of heading in towards a genre where it's more sort of James Bay, Jeff Buckley, sort of Ed Sheeran sort of vibe. And I'm not really pop, and Sony kind of wanted to go down the pop direction. So so we kind of split from them and used that time to really find myself. And this up and coming EP that's coming out later this year is just 100% me,
Right.
which is great. Like, there's no better feeling, and I guess you got to be true to yourself. Like, that's
And it's a quest that a lot of musicians go through, isn't it? Where you really want to have your own sound and be the master of that sound.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, some people can go through their whole career and not release what they want or have their own sound, as you say. Like, so I'm really fortunate and lucky enough to be able to do what I do and stay true to myself. Like, I've got great people around me. I've got a great manager, Steve White, and great family, and I'm lucky.
Speaking of the people around you for Be Mine Tonight,
Yeah.
you actually had, did you have any co-writers for that?
Yeah, so Lindsay Jackson was the producer for that, and he's such a talented guy. We had a lot of fun doing that song, and he actually helped produce and write majority of the songs on the EP actually, and yeah, it's really come together, and we both clicked. Like, it just happened so quickly, and it just worked really well.
Yeah. What do you love doing in your spare time?
Well, I'm a surfer, so I live on the beach in Kira Beach down the Goldie, and so I surf, skate, drink coffee. That's pretty much what every other sort of 18-year-old does. Like, that's me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to balance that personal life with the music career, though, isn't it?
Yeah, you definitely need that time out and sort of like space, and I find that I don't know, the Gold Coast really allows that, and especially the further south you go, I reckon the better it gets.
Yeah.
So we're Coolangatta sort of area. It's really chilled. People are chill, and it's really cool to get away from it all for a bit.
And do you have a career highlight so far?
Oh, that's a tough one, because I've actually done so much. It's crazy, like the opportunity that I've been given. Like, but I would have to say, like, my probably best experience was getting to sing on Hey Hey It's Saturday. I think
Right.
that was pretty unreal. Like, I mean,
Because you had a full orchestra backing you then too.
Yeah, it was amazing. Like, and it was just so funny, and you don't see those sort of shows anymore. And I'm so fortunate and so sort of proud to be that I was a part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool.
A piece of history, but a history that you're going to keep writing for yourself all the way through.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
And I also got to pluck a duck, so it's always a bonus.
What more could you want?
Oh, exactly.
Well, mate, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you very
And
much.
of course, you can check out Straalen's website for music and video clips, performance dates, and much more. Visit straalenmusic.com and check him out on social media as well, just /Straalen. But right now, we're privileged to have him perform for us live on our Connected stage. Please welcome Straalen and his debut independent release, Be Mine Tonight.
Oh, yeah. It's the way you talk, the way you move. Everybody stops and stares at you. You're beautiful, too. You don't even care what you wear. Kinda look cute with your messy hair. Don't call it cute, though. 'Cause you're scared of being alone at night. You just want someone to hold you tight. That's right, yeah. And if a dog passes you by, you stop just to say a little hi every time, yeah. And the funny thing you don't realize, every time you walk by, everybody looks, everybody sees. Baby, won't you be mine? You're my ocean to my sand. You're the stars upon my night sky. You're the wind upon my sail. Baby, won't you be mine? I don't want any other girl. We'll do just fine, me and you, nobody else. Be mine tonight, babe. You don't see the same girl I see. You don't need to change, girl, you change me. Let's just stop for a minute and breathe. You're my ocean to my sand. You're the stars upon my night sky. You're the wind upon my sail. Baby, won't you be mine tonight?
Well, that's a hit song if I ever heard it. Be Mine Tonight, and that is Straalen. That wraps up the show for this edition as well. Make sure you join us next week for more Connected on 31 Digital from the entire team. Thanks for your company. Bye for now.